Parent-child relationship, a stronger foundation for child growth. By the end of the speech, you will have a clear understanding of the importance of child-parent relationships, theoretical models on this relationship, and effective approach for developing parent-child relationships. What are the things that you receive or perceive as the pillars of your relationship with your parent? Whichever parenting styles you encountered, do you think they can be reflected in your life? Most probably, the approach of the parent-child relationship has a significance in our adulthood. The type of parent-child relationship that a person had shaped his or her way of living a happy life in the present day. Besides, parent-child relationships enhance positive growth character-wise for both personal behaviors and social behaviors as well. However, we may need to have a deeper understanding of the parent-child relationship and the approach of improving it. I will first introduce the importance of parent-child relationship. I will explain a theoretical models, then I will discuss an effective approach for developing parent-child relationships. The major significance of the parent-child relationship is its ability to enhance the holistic growth and behavioral development of the child into the adolescent and future adulthood. Parent-child relationships enhance the development of child's social behaviors. Llewellyn and Nice elaborated that parents are keen to train their children the way they should conduct when interacting with other people, such as instilling discipline. Through observation, children learn the approach and conduct that their parents behave when interacting with other members of the community. Popov claimed that whenever a cohesive parent-child relationship exists, the children feel free to inquire about their parents and the appropriate social conduct. Parent-child relationship also boosts the mental development of the child. Strong parent-child relationships enhance the development of problem-solving skills. Free interaction of parent with children also helps the children to develop confidence and courage when expressing themselves. Parent-child relationships enhance the development of the child emotional behaviors. Children observe and learn the way their parents control and handle psychological disturbances. Sometimes, if we were to elaborate more, children feel free to interact and ask their parents for support when facing psychological disturbances. Now that we have learned the significance of this topic, parent-child relationships, can we examine the theoretical models explaining parent-child relationships? The theoretical models of parent-child relationships link the parent association and interaction in the child's environment and their influence on exposures that shape the child's behavior. Social learning theory claims that children's exposure and real-life experiences shape their behaviors, indirectly or directly. A parent-child relationship characterizes a significant part of the child's environment as well. If a parent approves or rewards the child for good conduct, then the child will respond positively. The child would attempt to conduct themselves in that approach because they were actually motivated. In this case, the parent reprimands or punishes the child for doing the wrong act. The child would less likely do the act in the future. From a psychological argument, attachment theory argues that the type of care given to the child influences child protections and safety. Secondly, as Lai and Carr noted, that children exhibiting anxious resistant attachment from the quality of parental care were observed to bother less of their parental absence but attempt to punish them after they were reattached. They further argued that such a child with such type of attachment lacks self-confidence and they seclude from others in real life. In other words, these kind of kids or children grow up being so distant from the people. They are antisocial. Moving on, I think we can now understand the significance of parent-child relationships. We are going to briefly discuss the effective approach of parent-child relationship practice. Children should be convinced that they are the future leaders. This requires parents to teach children the approach of leading their peers as much as possible. For instance, a constant motivation to remind them of their future goals. As Popov highlighted that children should be made to develop self-esteem and confidence. Parents should also have the time with their children and address issues the way children will feel encouraged. According to Ryan, children should be made to realize the beauty inside them. This approach requires the parent to identify the strengths of the children and train them on what their capacity can do. Besides, it also promotes children to unleash their potential. In this speech, I have discussed the significance of parent-child relationship as the enhanced holistic growth and development of the child's social behavior. Studies have also demonstrated social learning theory, attachment, and models as the main theories explaining various aspects of the parent-child relationship. Effective parent-child relationships should be achieved better by valuing, empowering, and providing quality care for your children at all times.